Hello there, Patricia with you doing a reading for the first week in March. And it's a lovely sunny day here in Skerries. And I'm going to use the cards are falling out already. The Morgan Greer deck. Lovely, colourful, bright deck. So we're coming into the first week in March already. And I'm just going to do the usual, shuffle up the deck and pick 3 cards, and then just for the energies for the week, and then we look at the shadow card as well. So I'm going to split the deck now and we'll see what comes out. Okay, good cards, all right, except for the shadow card. So the shadow card is the devil. So that, I would say, shadow card, it really means doing some shadow work. Shadow work is going within and tapping into that dark side of your nature and rooting it out. Okay, not leaving it sit there, ignoring it or repressing it, expressing it, clearing it out once and for all. Okay, so we'll look at that in more detail later. But the other 3 cards are good. So for the beginning of the week, we have the 6 of Swords. This is about smooth sailing, moving into smoother, calmer waters. Middle of the week, we have the 4 of Cups. And then the end of the week is the King of Rods. So I feel this card is really about taking the power back and standing up for yourself, standing in the power, moving into the future. So taking a more authoritative stance. And then, of course, we have the shadow card. Not to be feared or anything. The devil card is all about negative habits, overthinking, toxic behavior. It can also relate to a tie to somebody very toxic and negative that needs to be severed, and you can do that with the assistance of Archangel Michael. It can also be to do with shadow work as well. It can relate to shadow work or doing some shadow work, okay? So not hiding from your fears, not hiding from your sort of the dark aspects of your personality, your nature. So it's about just addressing them, bringing it out to the surface, and then releasing it or eradicating it through that sort of that method. So just bringing it up, letting it go, rather than suppressing it or keeping it hidden. So if we go through the other cards, beginning of the week with the 6 of Swords, this is all about smooth sailing. So I feel this card is very much about a difficult period you were going through in the last few weeks is starting to ease up now, and this card is telling you a more harmonious period is coming. Okay, so the beginning of the week, this is a very strong card. It's about moving into an easier phase, an easier time, an easier life, a more harmonious, balanced phase. It's also about sort of moving away from turbulent waters into calmer, more peaceful waters. Okay, so it's very much about leaving an old situation, leaving a difficult, toxic, turbulent, hard situation, and going into an easier time, an easier phase, which is great. Bodes really, really well for the beginning of the month. Remember, with the Devil card, there may be some residual energy after you've gone into this phase. And residual energy is anything left over, any resentments, angers, frustrations, or anything that comes up from the fact that you had to go through that difficult period needs to be tapped into or accessed. So just write them down. What I always say, it's great ritual. Write down those energies, the angers, the frustrations, or resentments, or feeling why should I, or the victimization energy, anything that comes up that feels negative or is holding you back. Write it down, burn it in a black candle, release it, get rid of it. With the middle of the week, this is a good one, okay? This is the 4 of Cups. Now, usually this card is about somebody offering you something related to the emotions, love, or a compliment or blessings, and it's coming out of the blue. As you see, well, it's coming out of the clouds, and it's being offered to this character who is shrouded in ivy and sort of hiding. So I feel with this card in the middle of the week, it's like an opportunity may come your way in the middle of the week, but you might feel like hiding or hiding yourself away in the shadows. Now, bear in mind, with this ivy all over the card, ivy represents strength, the goddess. It grows in a spiral, and as you can see, ivy grows very, very powerfully. It grows quickly, and it also clings on to walls and buildings, and it's very hard to remove it. When you remove the ivy, you pull out some of the mortar. So what this card is showing is that you may need to exercise your strength, your fortitude, you know, that ivy related energy, that courage, that strength, that ability to grip onto something and not let go. Okay, but also don't be too stubborn. So be aware that you may be hanging on very tightly to something that needs to be gone or needs to be released. So it sort of has a double sort of a vibe here. The ivy is showing you that you're very strong, you're very resilient, you have lots of growth, you have lots of energy, you have lots, it's an evergreen as well. Okay, so you have lots and lots of resourceful energy there. So it's a very powerful symbol of your courage and your strength. But just be wary, okay, of any opportunity that comes up. Examine it very closely first before you consider it and before you make a commitment. So I feel that's what that card is all about at the middle of the week. The end of the week with this very powerful, strong King of Rods. Hope you can see that card. It's very yellow. So it's very much about standing in your strength, standing in your power, owning your strength and power. Yellow represents the solar plexus chakra, which is all about self-esteem, courage, confidence. Okay, so this card is showing you that you will move forward now with confidence and ease and strength, and in your power, and taking a more authoritative stance in your life. Okay, so this also may be to do with a strong male presence in your life who may encourage you to move forward and just give you that confidence and drive to push yourself out there and really put yourself in a strong position. This card is also asking you, if you're female, to adopt a more masculine authoritative stance. Okay, so be more in charge, take the power back. Okay, and it relates well to this card because this is about moving into that new phase. Okay, and the old energy gone. This is about knowing your strength and your power, okay, and reconsidering things and considering an opportunity that comes your way with your strength and your fortitude in mind is very important. So really examine it before it comes in, but it can bring you fulfillment, but you've got to consider it carefully. And then you start to gain power then with your decision and with your future and with your own life and the decisions you've made. So it's a very strong stance. There's also a sense of movement in this card, so he's moving forward. He's an older male, so he's wise, okay, and he's hardworking, and he has fortitude and strength, and it's a great card. And it is again about that yellow and all that strong solar plexus, powerful, confident energy. To go back to the Devil card, okay, don't leave this sit. Okay, sort this out, I'd say, during the week, middle of the week, beginning of the week, the whole week. Okay, don't leave it fester. So if anything is coming up in terms of old energies relating to past hurts or resentments or feeling guilty or feeling bad or any of that vibe that comes up, don't ignore it. Just say, oh, there, okay, there you are. I'll write you down and I'll burn you up on a black candle and get rid of it. So don't leave it sit and go around and round in your mind. So if you feel bad, don't just leave it there. Take it out literally by writing it down and burning it up. This card is also related to being attached or connected to somebody or an institution that may be lowering your vibration. So reconsider, as I say with this card, remember your strength. The ivy is such a powerful symbol. Remember how strong, resilient and resourceful you are. Okay, and with this card then, if it is to do with somebody or something or an institution that you are connected with that you feel is bringing you more down lower or bringing you more trouble, then it's worth reconsider. Okay, you can call on Archangel Michael and ask him to cut ties or sever the connection with this toxic person. So think about how you feel, possibly in the solar plexus chakra. These cards are boding really well in terms of gaining your strength and power, moving into a better, easier, stronger phase of your life. But as I say, it's not all love and light. Okay, life is not all love and light, as we know. If we ignore the negatives, we become toxic positive. Okay, so it is about bringing the negatives out to the surface and calling them out and accessing them and see what you can do in terms of releasing them. So it is very good to have this card in a way, because it's not ignoring anything, any of the negative stuff. It's actually just clearing it out once and for all, so you become stronger, more powerful as a result. Okay, so good cards for the week beginning March, first week in March, okay, which is great. So I wish you a fantastic week, smooth sailing. Remember your strength. Consider any opportunities that come your way. They can bring you fulfillment. And remember how strong and authoritative you are, taking the power back. This is a great card. It's about you standing up for yourself, standing in your power. And then this card is all about releasing the toxic ties or releasing any negative energy. And again, as I said, that's shadow work. That's really bringing the shadow up into the light and releasing it. Okay, so it's about accessing it, bringing it up, bringing it out, rather than ignoring it or repressing it, which is very dangerous. So I wish you a fantastic week. I hope you have a magical month, lovely March. And again, don't forget, you can find me on Facebook, Patricia Weston Witch, and I'm on Instagram at Patricia Weston Witch too. I look forward to talking to you there, and thank you for your likes and your comments on YouTube. It's great to connect with you and talk to you. So I will talk to you hopefully in a couple of weeks' time. Have a fantastic week. Bye.